Welcome back you guys to IGCSE Math Solution. Today we'll be talking about GT, grade thresholds and examiner's report, which is ER. Normally if you ask any IGCSE student, he will not have the perfect idea about what these two documents are. But whenever you go to a website to download past papers, you will see that these two documents are the first ones to be displayed. So if you open one of them, you will see that they contain something about these marks. So what are these two documents actually used for? Today, first let's talk about GTs or grade thresholds. I've opened this GT from the November 2019 papers, and immediately you will be able to see that there are some marks given for each component. So for extended students, you need to focus on 21 to 23 and component 41 to 43. So if you see for component 21 and 23, you need to score 56 marks, which means if you have a score of 56 or higher, that means that you have an A grade in that paper. So you will get A grade if you score 56 or higher component 21 and 23, whereas for component 22 you need to score 58 marks. So for component 21 and 23 you have to score lesser marks. So what does this tell us? You score lesser marks and you get a better grade. This means that 21 and 23 were relatively tougher. Yes, they were relatively tougher than 22. So what do these GT are used for? One thing is, if you have less amount of time with you, like you have just 1 month for your exams and you want to see that for a particular year, and in that year for a particular series of exam like summer or winter, you want to solve only the toughest paper. You don't want to waste your time solving all the three papers, all the three components. So you can open up a GT and you can see whichever paper has the lowest marks for an A grade, that will be the toughest paper. So here paper 21 and 23, they will be tougher than 22. Next, if I see, similar is what we see with components 41 and 43. Again you need 95 marks out of 130 for an A grade, and for component 42 you need 102 marks. So the funda is, lesser is the marks that you have to score, the tougher is the paper. So always check, if you want a tough paper, check for the paper which has the lowest marks for A grade. Next, if we see here, you have something more about combination of components. Whenever a student is appearing for an IGCSE exam, he will have one of these 6 options. If he is a core student, he'll be using these options AX, AY or AZ. But for an extended student, you will either be appearing for 21 and 41, 22, 42 or 23, 43. So if you see for an A star, how much does a student need? If he is of the BX or BZ option, that is 21 and 41, if he is appearing for 21 and 41 or 23 and 43 paper, then he needs 176 marks to score an A star. So if he scores 176 marks out of 200 or better, then he has an A star. And for 22 and 42, he needs 181 marks out of 200. So here you can see that when you are scoring lesser marks in options BX and BZ, still you are getting an A star for 176. This clearly tells us that for tough papers, if you want a tough paper, you can solve 21 and 41 or 23 and 43. But 22 and 42, these two papers, they were relatively easier. So a GT gives you an idea about how the papers were, which papers were tougher, which were easier, and you can use that to know about which paper to solve if you don't have enough time. So that was it for the GT part. Next we come on to the examiner's report. Now what is an examiner's report? So if you open the document, you will see that it is a huge document. It actually contains the question wise analysis for teachers actually. So if you read correctly, they have written it is the principal examiner's report for teachers, but even students can use it, and it is a lot beneficial for students if they understand what is actually given. So I've opened this document and I have scrolled down to paper 21, which is the extended paper. Here, what is the key message? Firstly, the examiner says that candidates need to have covered the full syllabus, and they need to remember the necessary formulae, whatever they'll be tested upon in this paper, and definitions. Plus, they need to spend some time looking for the most efficient way. See, the examiner has mentioned that you need to look out for the most efficient way. You just cannot keep on solving and filling pages upon pages. You have a limited amount of space, so you need to look out for what is the best method that I can solve a particular question in. General comments, the examiner has said a lot of students had written numbers which teachers couldn't understand. See, if you write hastily, this is my 1, but I can make it look like 7. Now, what is this, a 1 or a 7? If I write it this way, this might look like a 1, but if I write it this, I I am confused myself that whether this is a 1 or a 7. Then if I write my 4 in such a way, and if I write it fast, it somewhat looks like a 9. So you need to be sure that whatever you're writing, the teacher can read it and understand it, and after understanding only then they'll be able to give you marks. So please make sure that your handwriting is good enough, and that whatever it is, but the teacher should be able to understand it. Now coming on to the best part about these ERs, they have comments on specific questions. That is, for each question the examiner will give you what the examiner thought about after seeing all the papers and referring to them. So before reading this, first have a look at question 1. What is question 1? So after viewing that question, what we actually had to find was we had to find 5% of $25. So what is that? 5% of $25, that is actually 5 by 100 multiplied by 25, that is equal to 125 by 100. And if you divide it, it's just shifting of decimals by 2 places, so it is 1.25. So what has the examiner said? This was answered correctly by a vast majority of candidates, and some candidates subtracted the correct answer of 1.25 from the original amount, and they gave this as the final answer. So you see, a lot of candidates, instead of finding 5%, they actually found out 95% of 25. So this was, we can say that, not a conceptual error, but I think it was a silly mistake on their part. But after reading this, you got to know that if you were also one of those and you had written 23.75 as your answer, you can see that there were a lot of students who were able to solve it. So you need to look up that how are you preparing. It will show that you are not prepared well. Next, if you see, if you want to take one more question, let's take up question 3. So here is question 3. Now after seeing the question, what we actually had to do is just input everything into the calculator, and finally we'll get an answer of 4.57 or 4.58. But they had asked us that candidates had to round it to two significant figures. Now if you read this, majority of the candidates demonstrated efficient use of calculators. That is, they had the correct unrounded value in their working. So they had gained their marks over there. But some of them left their final answer as 4.57 or 4.58. That is, they had just rounded off to two decimal places. if you see, two decimal places is actually given in the general instructions. Like they specify in the paper that for a particular question, if nothing is mentioned, then give your answers to two decimal places. But in this question, we had been asked about rounding it to two significant figures. Now 4.757, now 4.57 or 4.58, they actually have three significant figures. So for two significant figures, we'll have to round it even further, so that will give us an answer of 4.6. One more thing to note over here is 4.60, that is also not two significant figures, those are three significant figures, so again the answer will go wrong. So these minuscule details no one will tell you. If you on your part would directly have written 4.6, you wouldn't even have noticed that there are so many places where you could have gone wrong but you didn't. So for me, if you ask me, examiner's report, after reading that, you'll actually get to know about what all errors you could have made but you didn't, or even if you made those errors, were you the only one or a majority of students were actually getting trapped there. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Do remember to subscribe to my channel. I make such videos about math and how to achieve your dream about getting an A star or becoming a world topper just like me. Like the video if you liked it. If you did not like it for some reason, please click the dislike button. Leave your comments down so that I can read them, and if you have any queries, you can mail them to me. Moreover, all the links are there in the description to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And yes, thank you for watching.
I can't